Then the next thing we do is we take the screen and we place it on the press up against the block, and we're going to seat it between the two piers, which are 4 inches apart. Now that screen is not moving, it's absolutely rock solid, and so I know that it's right in position. And I'm touching the 4 corners, I'm on contact. So I've got the position that I want. Now to print, I would take obviously I'd take the plexiglass out of there, put the screen back in, up against the block. I'm in there and I'm off contact. There we go. I'm off contact the 1/8 of an inch. So when I print with my squeegee, there's room for the ink to release from the screen. If I'm only printing one shirt with one color, I'd lift the screen out, take the shirt off, put the next shirt on, put the screen back in position, print again. If I'm printing 2 colors, I would take the screen out, put the next screen in, print the second color, remove the screen, do that for as many colors as I want, and then remove the shirt. And if I want a flash cure in between, I can do that. I'm not worried about the platen warping like you would experience with melamine. This MDF doesn't warp, so it's a much better product. Okay, here's some other critical features, just like on the expensive equipment that Argenix makes, where you get the 75% lifetime trade-in credit. This is the bottom of a platen from an Argenix floor model press. You can see it has 2 rails underneath the platen. And the reason for that is when you slide the platen on the platen arm, you want the platen square to the arm. You don't want it crooked. The way that all of our competitors, or nearly all of our competitors, make their machines, they use a bracket underneath, and it has a couple of knobs. And when you tighten those knobs, the torsional force is likely to make the platen kick over. And if you're not careful, you're going to print all your shirts crooked. So it's a real problem, particularly with certain manufacturers. We don't want that problem, and neither do you, even on your wooden press. So here we go. Here's how we conquer that problem. All we did was put 2 1x1, 1.5 square strips of wood on the underside, so when that goes on the platen arm, there's no way it can be crooked. And hopefully you can see this, but there are holes in the side here, and the purpose of the holes is when we put the platen on the platen arm, we put the bolt in there. It also goes through the side of the platen arm. It locks the platen in position, so it's not going to move while we're printing. And of course we can adjust the platen in or out, and we have a series of holes here which match the holes in the platen arm. So you can locate this exactly where you want. Now why is that important? Well, you're going to start out printing, say, small shirts, and you want the text to be 2 inches below the neck. Then you want to print the mediums or large or extra large. Well, you want to move the image down the shirt. The easy way to do it is just to slide the platen out a little bit. Don't move the screen, don't change the screens, just move the platen out, and that's what we do here. You just pull the bolt out, slide the platen out, put the bolt back in, bingo, you're in position. So you can adjust to different size shirts. Very simple idea. It should be on every press, but it's not, and it's another advantage to having Argenix equipment. Another thing we've done with this wooden press is underneath the platen arm we have a hinge, a door hinge, so it flops freely. So when we load a shirt, the hinge goes open, shirt goes in, hinge drops, and when we print and we push down, there's no deflection of the platen. That's critically important, because if you have deflection of the platen will separate from the screen and you'll have a color registration problems. Your white and red stripes in the American flag won't register. There'll be a separation. So you do not want any flex at all in the platen arms. Even if you have a press where the platen arm is steel or aluminum, unless it's properly supported like in Argenix equipment, that platen arm is going to deflect, and that's going to be a color registration problem. So that's something you really want to look at. Now there's some other things you can do besides make a wooden press that's really cheap in terms of your costs and really have a tremendous impact on your business. For example, this is called a screen registration guide, and we have a video on rjennings.com how to do this, and all it is a piece of wood with strips on two sides you push the frame against, and then we have some paper in here with lines on it and plastic over the paper. When you set up a job, you lay your positive on the plastic, you scotch tape it. Now you'll know if the artwork is centered and straight. And then you put double stick scotch tape on top of the positive, lay your screen over, butting up against the two wooden strips. Lift the positive off this screen registration guide. It's now sticking to the bottom of the screen. Go expose the screen. What this does, it avoids exposing images that are too high, too low, or crooked in your screen. It just saves you so much aggravation. And this is about a 10-minute project that costs you nothing. So that's another example. Now you go talk to any of your suppliers, how many of them are going to give you all these free ideas that save you money? And the answer is none. They all are in the business of harvesting money. And we'll tell you how not to spend your money. If you have any questions, give us a call. We like helping people. That's what we do. Talk to you then.